dismantling the miniature V4 engine of the Flash 600. Just like all of you, I am curious about how this miniature V4 engine from Qianjiang performs. This is its throttle body. Take a look at it. Each iteration of the throttle body seems to get a bit more complex. This housing here contains the thermostat. To be honest, I didn't expect at the time that Qianjiang could produce a V4 engine, so the greater the interest. Look at this stator coil. It is interchangeable with their own 750 model. You can see the 750GS mark on it. Anyway, this engine was sourced directly from the manufacturer. It is a mass production model, so you can watch with confidence, because sooner or later, I will dismantle one from an actual user, meaning there will eventually be a comparison. Look at this cylinder head. Each head has dual cams and 8 valves. The two combined make it 4 cams and 16 valves. I've always felt that a V4 is more complex than an inline-4. Oh right, look at the timing chain. It's the same as the Chase 800 Sai 800. It uses the Japanese did chain, turning it around to see the front cylinder. They are all DID. Since this V4 uses a longer chain, you'll have to spend double the money. In my opinion, from an engine perspective, the Flash 600 should be more expensive than the Sai 800. It's more labor-intensive, even for me. When I first saw the look of this Flash 600, personally, I thought it looked quite good. Check out the camshafts. Oh, they are made of conventional materials. These two cams cannot be installed randomly. They are not interchangeable with the rear cylinder cams. If you mix them up, the intake port will become the exhaust port, and the exhaust will become the intake. Also, the camshaft caps must not be mixed up either. If installed incorrectly, the cams won't even rotate, and there are 4 of them. So maintaining a V4 is a bit more complicated. Naturally, the labor costs will be higher. Look at these valves, and look at this cylinder. It's not a plated cylinder, the magnet sticks. It uses cast iron cylinder sleeves. Of course, for a cruiser engine, it's not necessary. It's not a high-performance engine to begin with. For this type of application, the manufacturer won't use forged internals. The focus is on being sufficient and practical. Manufacturers decide on material specs based on the intended use of the engine. Right, I almost forgot to check the pistons. These carbon-covered pistons, let's clean them up. As you can see, the piston crowns have no special coating. The Sai 800 has micro-arc oxidation on the surface, but this one doesn't. Likely a consideration for thermal efficiency. Turning it over, look at this. It's a very clear 90-degree V4 engine layout. Very intuitive. The front seals seem to have been changed. I remember at the Expo Mobohui, these gaskets were green. But opening this machine, you can see they've changed to this gray type, supposedly to further improve the sealing performance. Because previously, I criticized the clutch cover of the Flash 600. You can check out the video I posted during the expo. Let's look at the clutch structure here. There are quite a lot of gears, right? This is the Sprague clutch overrunning clutch. Over here is the idler gear. The starter motor is located here, right underneath this. And it uses a slipper clutch. By the looks of it, it's also made in-house by Qianjiang. If we're talking strictly about manufacturing capability, Qianjiang is truly strong. Crankshafts, connecting rods, clutches all made by themselves now. I heard they even do their own engine case die casting. So in terms of parts commonality, Qianjiang likely has more flexibility than other brands. Looking at the clutch, it's almost certain they made it themselves. Look at the clutch plates, they seem to be outsourced. They are paper-based friction plates. High-displacement bikes need paper-based plates. Otherwise, they won't last. Let me remove the sprag clutch to show you. It's quite clean. This thing is also called a one-way clutch. Electric starting relies on this. What people usually call starter slipping. Happens when this part fails, that's the situation. Look at the primary drive gear. They've installed a scissor gear right at the front. This basically means you don't need to spend on aftermarket mods. This component makes the engine sound much smoother. Removing the clutch basket. This is also made by Qianjiang themselves. It's safe to say the entire clutch assembly, except for the friction plates, is made by Qianjiang. Size 600 owners, look here. Regarding the chain hitting the engine case you were worried about, look, on the Flash 600, there's no need to worry. It comes with a built-in chain guide. It seems to have some green elastic padding. Pressing here, it feels very tight and secure. Well, this is considered a newer model after all. Oh, I really didn't expect this. They used imported NT and bearings for the front. People kept saying lower quality before. But take a look. These are even better than what's in the Psy 800 from an owner's perspective. We really hope Qianjiang puts in the effort to build products seriously and build them well. They really should focus on quality to improve their reputation. Furthermore, in the coming years, they will implement digital production lines. When that happens, I'll go visit the factory line, film it and show it to everyone. For domestic manufacturers, the desire to improve is a great thing. The worst thing is a manufacturer with no ambition. Haven't people always said Qianjiang gets roasted non-stop online, but never loses in actual sales? I hope that in the future, Qianjiang turns those insults into praise. Of course, that depends on Qianjiang's own efforts. Look at these bolts, they have a very Honda-like feel. Oh, right. This engine design is also referenced from Honda. Personally, I think it's very similar to the Honda VFR750. I'm not sure if my intuition is correct. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Alright, moving on to the recording. Let's look at the crankshaft. It uses Daido bearings from Japan. These are imported bearing shells, the same material as the crankshaft shells in big imported bikes. I've bought these shells before. Take a look. For V61, which is this Flash 600 engine, I bought them to repair a CBR650. They are identical to the shells I just removed. Let me show you. So, no special treatment here. It's a standard production machine. Taking out the main shaft, then removing the counter shaft. This is a belt drive setup. The bearing is also Japanese NTN, but the angle is hard to film. Look at the crankshaft again. Based on this, we can determine it is a forged crankshaft. Most modern motorcycle crankshafts use this manufacturing process, removing the connecting rods to check the rod caps. The bearing shells in the rod caps are gray leaded type. This is the same material as the shells in big imported bikes. After all, the Daido shells produced domestically in China have a white tin-plated surface. So I believe these shells are better than those. Removing the pistons. The piston skirts are coated with graphite. With this process, they usually look like Qianjiang pistons. Checking the mark, it's NY. That's right. Qianjiang and these rods. Looking at them, they seem to be made by Qianjiang again. These pistons, the tops look like they were specifically coated with something very oily. Others aren't like this. Let's wash it off and check the piston rings. The rings are from Dongya, using the PVD coating process. Not bad. Alright, the engine teardown is complete. Overall, it's quite decent. I can't really comment on its flaws. since I've never actually ridden this bike. From a material quality standpoint, this engine is indeed good. It's just that the V for maintenance labor cost will be expensive. I also know what you want me to do next. The 3921 engine, right?